Most men never realize they're being judged in the first 30 seconds because women rarely say it out loud. And the scary part is, it's usually not about looks. It's something quieter, something emotional, something women notice almost instinctively while a man is still trying to make a good impression. A woman can meet two men with the same height, same money, same confidence on the surface, and still feel completely safe with one, while feeling emotionally exhausted by the other within minutes. And most men completely miss why. Because women don't just listen to words. We watch tension. We watch emotional control. We watch how a man reacts when he isn't getting immediate validation. We notice tiny things men think are invisible. And this is where everything changes. Because the men women instantly judge are usually not the men trying too little. They're the men trying too hard in ways they don't even realize. The next part is something almost nobody understands. Women are constantly reading emotional energy underneath behavior. Not perfection, not smooth lines, not fake confidence. Energy. And once a woman feels something is emotionally off, attraction quietly starts collapsing before the conversation even really begins. That's why some men say, "I thought everything was going great." Meanwhile, the woman already emotionally checked out 20 minutes earlier. Tonight, I want to explain the hidden reasons women instantly judge certain men, the things women rarely admit openly, and the subtle mistakes that quietly ruin attraction before a man even notices. Because once you understand these patterns, you'll never see attraction the same way again. The first thing women instantly judge is emotional desperation. And no, it's not always obvious. Most desperate men don't look desperate. Sometimes they look overly nice, overly agreeable, overly available. A woman can feel it in the way a man waits too intensely for her reactions, the way he keeps trying to impress, the way his energy says, "Please approve of me." And what happens next surprises almost every man. The more a man chases approval emotionally, the less emotionally safe he feels. Because women naturally trust men who seem emotionally grounded without needing constant validation. A man who can relax. A man who doesn't panic during silence. A man who isn't performing every second. That energy feels rare now. And women notice it immediately. Most men completely miss this. Attraction grows stronger when a woman feels she can breathe around you emotionally, not when she feels pressured to constantly reward your ego. And this quietly leads into the second thing women judge instantly: how a man handles discomfort. This is a huge one, because pressure reveals personality faster than charm ever will. A woman notices how a man reacts when plans change, when she disagrees, when she's distracted, when he doesn't get immediate attention. And this is where hidden red flags appear. Some men become cold instantly. Some become passive-aggressive. Some become controlling, defensive, needy. Others suddenly act like victims. And women notice all of it. Because emotional maturity isn't tested when things feel easy. It's tested in tiny, uncomfortable moments. Most men think attraction is built through impressive moments. But what women actually notice is emotional regulation. Can you stay calm without shutting down emotionally? Can you handle uncertainty without becoming bitter? Can you maintain your energy without punishing her for not behaving exactly how you want it? That's what women silently observe. And the next part becomes even deeper. Women instantly judge how a man makes other people feel, especially people he doesn't need. Pay attention to this one. Because women watch everything here. How you speak to waiters, cashiers, strangers, friends. Whether your kindness disappears when status disappears. And this is the mistake that quietly ruins attraction. Some men perform kindness toward women they're attracted to, while revealing arrogance toward everyone else. Women notice the inconsistency immediately. Because it doesn't feel genuine. It feels strategic, and strategic behavior feels emotionally unsafe. A genuinely confident man doesn't suddenly become respectful only when attraction is involved. His energy stays stable, and stability is deeply attractive to women, especially emotionally intelligent women. Now here's where things become uncomfortable for a lot of men. Women instantly judge insecurity hidden behind ego. This one destroys attraction faster than men realize. Because insecure men often appear confident at first. They brag constantly, interrupt people, need to dominate conversations, name drop, compete with everyone. But underneath it, women feel the fear, the need to prove, the emotional tension. And women notice something most men never think about. True confidence feels calm. It doesn't fight for attention every second. It doesn't need to win every conversation. It doesn't panic when another man enters the room. That calmness changes everything. Because women feel emotionally safer around men who are secure enough to exist without constant performance. And this leads directly into another silent judgment women make. Whether a man actually listens or just waits for his turn to talk. This one matters more than men think. A lot more. Because women can feel when a conversation becomes transactional. Some men don't listen to understand. They listen to impress, or flirt, or fix, or redirect attention back to themselves. And women emotionally disconnect fast when they feel unseen. Most men think attraction comes from saying the perfect thing. But sometimes attraction grows from something much quieter. Feeling emotionally understood. A man who truly listens stands out immediately now because so few people actually do it anymore. And here's the part men rarely expect. Women remember how they felt around you more than the exact words you said. Always. That emotional memory stays. Even days later. And this is where everything starts separating average men from unforgettable men. Now let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever noticed how some men walk into a room and immediately feel emotionally heavy, while others feel calm and magnetic without even trying? There's a reason for that. Because women instantly judge emotional presence, not just appearance. Presence, energy that says, I'm comfortable with myself. Or energy that quietly screams, I need attention to feel valuable. Women feel the difference almost instantly. And this is something almost nobody teaches men. The loudest man in the room is rarely the most attractive one emotionally. Sometimes the most attractive man is simply the most emotionally centered. The man who doesn't need to force reactions. The man who doesn't panic during silence. The man whose confidence feels natural instead of performed. And this quietly leads into one of the biggest hidden judgments women make. Whether a man respects boundaries naturally or only after being told. This is huge, because emotionally healthy women pay attention to subtle pressure immediately. A man pushing too hard, texting too aggressively, ignoring hesitation, trying to force emotional intimacy too quickly. Women notice it instantly, and even if she smiles politely, something internally changes. Because attraction cannot grow where emotional safety disappears. Most men completely miss this. Women don't only judge what a man says. We judge whether he notices emotional comfort levels without needing everything explained directly. That awareness feels incredibly attractive because it shows emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence has become rarer than physical attractiveness now. The next point is something many men never recover from once women notice it. Victim mentality. This one quietly destroys attraction. A man constantly blaming exes, blaming women, blaming society, blaming everyone else for his emotional state. Women instantly feel the emotional weight of it, because accountability feels masculine emotionally, not perfection. Accountability, a man who can say, yeah, I needed to grow from that. That energy feels powerful, but bitterness feels dangerous emotionally. And women instinctively pull away from men who carry unresolved resentment toward life or relationships. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Women instantly judge emotional consistency. This one decides whether attraction grows or dies slowly. Some men feel amazing during the first conversation. Charming, focused, attentive, then suddenly become distant, cold, unpredictable. And emotional inconsistency creates anxiety fast. Women don't trust unstable energy because emotional safety comes from consistency, not intensity. This is why some men create instant chemistry, but still fail to create lasting attraction. The energy becomes exhausting, unclear, emotionally confusing. And women slowly detach when they feel emotionally unstable patterns appearing. Now, before we continue, I want you to think carefully about something. Which of these behaviors have you personally seen in yourself or in other men around you? Because self-awareness changes everything here. And honestly, most men were never taught these things growing up. They were taught how to impress women, not how women emotionally experience men. That difference matters more than almost anything. Now let's talk about something women almost never admit openly. Women instantly judge how a man reacts to feminine energy he cannot control. This is subtle but powerful. Some men become uncomfortable when a woman is emotionally expressive, or independent, or confident, or desired by others. And suddenly their energy shifts. They become possessive, dismissive, controlling, competitive. And women feel it immediately. Because secure men don't feel threatened by feminine energy. They appreciate it without needing to dominate it. And this is where everything changes emotionally. A woman deeply notices whether your masculinity feels calm or fragile. Fragile masculinity creates tension everywhere. Calm masculinity creates emotional safety. That difference silently affects attraction more than most men realize. Now we're entering the two strongest points of this entire conversation. And the next one quietly explains why some men lose attraction before they even get a real chance. Women instantly judge authenticity. This one is massive because fake personalities are exhausting to women emotionally. A man pretending to be ultra alpha, pretending not to care, pretending to be emotionally unavailable, pretending to be richer, colder, tougher, smoother than he really is. Women usually feel it, maybe not consciously at first, but emotionally something feels disconnected because authenticity has emotional weight to it. Realness relaxes people. Performance creates tension, and this is the mistake that quietly ruins attraction for so many men online now. They try to become attractive by acting like someone else. But women emotionally connect to emotional honesty far more than copied personalities. A man comfortable in his own skin becomes unforgettable because authenticity feels rare now. And finally, the last thing women instantly judge is something men almost never think about: emotional peace. This one changes everything. Women are constantly asking themselves one silent question around men. Will this man bring peace into my life or emotional chaos? Not through words, through energy, through reactions, through emotional stability. Through the way he handles people, pressure, silence, disappointment, and himself. And this is where attraction becomes deeply psychological. Because women are not just choosing looks, they're subconsciously choosing emotional experiences. How a man makes her nervous system feel: calm, safe, seen, drained, anxious, heavy. That emotional response matters more than most men realize. And honestly, some men spend years improving appearance, money, status, and game, while completely ignoring the emotional energy women experience around them. But what women actually remember is simpler than that. How you made them feel emotionally, that's what stays. Every single time. So if you learned something from this tonight, don't just think about how to attract women. Think about the emotional atmosphere you create around people, because the men women trust fastest are usually not the loudest men, or the richest, or the smoothest. They're the men who feel emotionally safe, grounded, authentic, and calm in a world full of performance. And strangely enough, that kind of man is becoming rare. If this conversation connected with you, subscribe. Because the next video is going even deeper into the emotional behaviors women notice silently, but almost never explain out loud. And trust me, the next one changes the way you see attraction completely.